Hi everyone, and welcome back to the MEP QAQC Pro channel. And today we are discussing about MEP standards and codes. Basically, this is very important topic for the QAQC engineer. You, as a QAQC engineer, you must know what are the installation, what are the things going outside, should be follow the standards and codes. So, without wasting time, let's get started. So, as a 2025 MEP standards and codes update. So basically, I'll give you some basic idea about the standards and codes, how you can implement in your site, and how you can be ensured that that standard is following by your team. And you must know all this standard, and you must remember all this. So stay ahead of the curve with critical update to the maybe standards and codes for 2025. These changes impact safety, efficiency, and compliance across the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing system. Basically, in 2025, there are some changes in the standards and codes. So, which impact the safety, efficiency, and the compliance. These changes is forcing the ensuring that you have followed the safety and efficiency and sustainability across all the MEP system. Why MEP standards matter? Basically, yeah, this is a good question actually. Why you need to follow standards and codes? So basically, this you need to follow standards code because you need to comply the safety. You need to comply with the standards as the international standard and the local authority standard. Then you have to comply that code and the standards to be to be promoting to the sustainability. So let's talk about the safety first. The codes ensure MEP system protect occupants and worker. They prevent hazard across mechanical, electrical, and plumbing system. So whenever you will follow the international standard plus the local standard, you will not do any mistake during the work. You that codes and standard will prevent you to happen any hazard in your site. So that is important to follow the codes and the way of implementing at site, the way the procedure of works at site. Then compliance. Update standards help avoid costly rework. They align your project with legal requirement at all levels. So what actually it means if you are living in Dubai or if you are living in America, if you are living in India, so there must be a local standard which you need to be follow at all in all levels. So that standard will lead you to avoid any mistake at site. Plus, that avoid will cost if you will not follow the local authority like DEWA. If they were required, they has some standard which has to be followed at site before going for the inspection. They will look for that standard, how you are performing the works, how the way of doing the electrical work, the way you install the panels. So that if you follow that standard, you will not face any reworks. Otherwise, you had to do the reworks because as a diva, which is diva electrical, they will not allow you to do any connection until unless you follow their standards. So you have to comply with their standard in order to avoid any rework aside. And there is one thing which added recently as a sustainability. Everyone is talking about sustainability because now every country they are focusing as a greening building. They want the building to be as a greener. Yani they can be more efficiency in power in the way of efficiency, consumption of power. So everyone is focusing on sustainability. So modern codes promote energy efficiency. So there's so many implementation happen in the recent year that some codes has been implemented and change in respect to the sustainability. So they push for greener building practice through the industry. As I told you, now everyone is focusing, the construction is focusing how we can promote sustainability and greener to the building. So the efficiency in the electrical, the consumption of the HVAC system, the consumption of the water, everything should be under this sustainability. So there is a lot of codes and standard which you need to be cross-checked, applicable from as based on your project. The next one is key 2025 updates. So basically, I'll give you some, codes and standard which recently implemented and recently everyone is following. Like ASHRAE standard, ASHRAE 90.1 2024, which states that tightness of energy efficiency rules. 62.2 demands more outside air for residential ventilation, because see recently there is this is actually new code which focus on sustainability. And whenever you are calculating for the whenever you are doing a design, you must consider 62.2, which is outside air for residential ventilation. So this is actually, if someone asks you, if as a designer, if you are a designer or you are checking the design work, so they can ask you, as a question of like interview question, which standard you follow while designing the designing the ventilation for a residential tower. So you get 62.2. The next one is NFPA, National National Fire Protection Association, which is the international standards. Uh, NFPA 70 emphasize arc fault protection. NFPA 90A update focus on fire rated material in HVAC system. So yes, there is a recent so many standards implicated, especially for related to fire, because nowadays the buildings, everywhere we had that some buildings occupied or gets the fire due to the ventilation or due to the facade or something happen inside. So they implement these fire protections against in HVAC system. So there should be fire-rated duct which should follow NFPA 90A, or there's some subsystem which has to be follow 90A. As ASME updates. So the recent update for the American Society of Mechanical Engineer, BPV Section 8 refined pressure vessel design rules. Design to compliance is now restricted. As you know, the pressure vessel is there which refine the flow of the chill water to the flow of chill water through vessel. So that section is indicating to that designing of pressure vessel. The next one is plumbing and engine energy. IPC push water saving fixture. IEC 024 ramps up HVAC and lighting efficiency standard. So this is the little standard which implemented in 2025. But apart from this, there is some basic, so many basic standard are there which you need to find through the Google, or you need to check your site, you need to check your project specification, or as like example for drainage system, we are using underground drainage system, then there's above ground drainage system. So some, there is a latest, before it was like BS 3901, something was like for the below ground, and above ground is like 4401 BS. So that you always need to check what are the updates are going on for that standard. Like chill water pipe, if the chill water pipe, uh, now they are following ASME A 53.1 53.3 according to the size of the pipe. So everything is mentioned, is for sure it will be mentioned in your project specification or and the material submittal. What are the which type of material and what are the laws and codes supplier are complying, so that you have to be aware while checking the material, because in the material it should be mentioned that things. I hope it's clear. The next one is compliance strategies, how you can comply this codes and standard, or how you can be aware yourself about the latest changes is going on by the international media or by the international standards or local standard. So you need to check regularly, like weekly or monthly. You should keep your own update on ASHRAE, NFPA, ICC app website for their updates, or you can subscribe their newsletter, or you can join their association where they can you can provide, where you can take the training and resources. Then use beam tools. This is for the designer who is using the beams. And you can, while getting that all knowledge, you can also train your team so that they will aware also about the regular codes which is updating every by the international standards. And when you are sharing to your team, you will for sure you will aware by your own self also. So in this way, you can make yourself strength towards the codes and standard. Real world application. Okay, how it is implementing in the real world. How the people, how many divisions they are following that one. As I told earlier, the designer they they will follow uh, while designing the ventilation, while designing any kind of works going to design or the like ventilation, HVAC system, AC system, choosing the right system through that codes and standard. Here specify high efficiency HVAC unit with a smart code control reference. It is referred to the 90.1 2024 requirement earlier. Then electrical they will plan based on NFPA the protection for the the earthing or grounding that has to be clearly specified on an FPA 70A. Plumbing they will choose based on the BS standard and the latest standard for their water supply pipe, for their drainage system, for the pump. So based on the standard, they will follow and apply to the site. You need to bring your own material based on the latest standard. As I told earlier, like drainage system, you need to follow the latest standard. And once you're doing the inspection, they will for sure there is a code and the project quality plan which refer to the how you will do conduct the inspection. So that all things you need to be go through the codes and standard. I know no one is following now in the real world, especially if you ask any QA/QC engineer about the codes and standard of any specific thing, they cannot able to tell you the correct thing. That's why I encourage everyone, please and please focus on codes and standard. Try to learn it, or try to write it in your own like diary, everything, anywhere where you can, based on your project, what are the materials and how they which codes they are applying for that material, that you need to be aware, because this is the real questions arise during the interview. I hope it is clear, and please focus on standard, go search it, google it, and if you need any other standard, you can send me a message, you can text in the comment section you need which is standard or whatever. I will for sure will I will share with you that standard which I'm always writing, even though it's always not remembered to me, but I'm writing all the codes and standard, because there's a code standard it cannot be remembered all the time. So you need to be keep in your own diary or anywhere where you can be keep it safe. So that is where this is what I'm doing, because I don't know how the other project manager they are doing, but this is the way I'm doing, and it's helping me whenever I'm needed. So guys, thank you very much, and please don't forget to subscribe the channel. I like the video, and stay tuned for the upcoming important videos. There are so many videos are coming which will really help the real world, because nowadays the QAQC engineers are, to be honest, I'm telling you, because I have interviewed lots of interview for the QAQC engineer. They are really not aware about the things. So that's why I created this channel, just to make them aware. And yes, I know so many people are asking me, uh, like fresher engineers or fresher people who are still in the college and want to be in the field of QAQC. They want to do some courses, small courses. That's just to start the work in the QAQC. For sure, I'm creating that course, and stay tuned with me. I will be sharing very soon to with everyone, so you can start your own career in the QAQC engineering. So that is all about today. Thank you very much.